What is up, guys? Shoutoutallen here, and today we're talking about Wave. She's a brand new uniform for her. Also got Potential Awakened. We're going to be talking and tackling two things. One, is the uniform worth it as far as her base kit to her new kit? And two, is she good for Potential Awakened? And so we're going to look at those two things specifically. But if you guys enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like, put a comment down below what you think of Wave. Do you have Wave on your account? Are you planning on getting her? And how good of support do you think she really is? Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when we do the next update. Sounds like some juicy uniforms are coming up in the next couple weeks or a couple days actually, and so that's very cool. But anyways, let's get started with today's video. So we're talking about Wave. She has notoriously been a support character, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the kit as far as what she's got going on, and then we can kind of go. We're going to try her out versus Cole Obsidian with her uniform and without her uniform, and then we're going to take her as a support to Quicksilver against Null and see what that looks like. And so we're going to do one without her on there and then with her on the team and see the stat bump. So the very first thing we need to look at is her gear. She's got some Urus and then eventually her skills. So between the differences, other than just a little bit of damage increase, and then obviously whenever you get your brand new uniform, you get these 23% as well as these extra options whenever you do the things, which actually I can go ahead and switch that to energy attack while we're talking about it. But right there, perfect, awesome. And we'll also talk about the options. So the uniform options, we got Bullseye, Dark Avengers, Invisible Woman Classic, and Star-Lord's Grounded, Ebony Maw, that's the old Ebony Maw, and then the last one is X-23 All New Wolverine. And so if you have her BIOS, then you'd be able to upgrade her uniform. And so I guess starting off out the bit, how do you get her is she's available through the Heroic Quest. She costs 750 to start a month's rotation of these epic quests, and so you'll be able to start the quest, and whenever you start it, it'll be 7 days from that point before the next section gets started. And so each one of the missions gives you bonus materials and gold, and then specifically her bios. And so that's how you unlock her. You can get her at 1 star and then use like tickets, these little tickets you get from different things to kind of rank her up. If you wanted to, you could 6-star rank up ticket and then get her bios up to level 2 and get her tier 2. So but she is a support character, and so she buffs specifically anybody that's on the team, and so that's important for us to know, because the difference between her old uniform, right, if I equip this for this passive, this tier 2 passive, hero allies get basic damage dealt to villains is 40% and decreases damages from villains by 15. When you add the uniform, it now becomes 50%, so it's an extra 10% buff to villains against villains, and it's also important for us to know that it only applies to heroes. So you can't buff a villain, you just only heroes. And so other different supports have different things, like Valkyrie, she can do, where's she? So Valkyrie's tier 2 passive, it goes to all allies. So all allies get this dodge rate buff and the super villain by 50 and the 25% super villain. She's much better as a support, but it's also good to know that if you have multiple supports, then that means you can throw those supports on different waves of runs against Null, and so that's very good. So let's go ahead and quickly go back. Hello, Luke Cage. Not looking for you, buddy. Looking for Wade. So other skills are just about the same, right? They don't do too much. 3 creates the summons, 4 is incapacitate, I can never say it, and then 5 is an all defense down with a frenzy buff. And so we're going to do the skill rotation super quick. It's very easy, right? When you have her Potential Awaken, you do 3, 6, 5, 4, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And so when that's not there, not available, so you try 4. So that 5 is going to get that Bentley buff, and then 3 creates the summons that do extra damage while you're fighting, and then 4 just does damage. So it's a very easy rotation, so that's important to know as well. So again, for for you guys at home, 3, 6, 5, 4. Just everything's going not so. So, yeah, easy rotation, and so that's really nice. But you'll see that her damage as a damage dealer is just not as great. I think her strength is the fact that she is a support. But let's take a look at it real quick, and we should go through some Cole. Alright, we're going to do Cole stage 30. We're going to go ahead and start off without the uniform. And she also doesn't have a heal, so I brought Venom along to make sure she doesn't die, so we don't have to do this 112 times. But if you're going to plan on using her as a damage dealer, then you're going to have to be very, very careful because she does not have a heal. I'm using a Cyclops lead, so it's giving extra boost to everything on her kit. Also got the supports as well, so it's just, you know, this is just kind of, if you were going to set up set up Wave to be a damage dealer, this is probably close to the team that you would probably do anyway. So if you were going to use her for null specifically to do damage, then that's probably what you would do as well. So here you are, 3, 5, 4, and just kind of poking a little bit at Cole. Not crazy a lot amount at one time, you know, but it, you know, if I didn't have Venom's pulls right there, I'd be in trouble. So 3, 6, 5, 4. And we're ready for the next phase. So Mr. Cole smashes the ground, and we're gonna see if we can get him stunned in any way, shape, or form. That's a big negative, so we're gonna have to run away and not die. Oh boy, that was sketchy. Well, almost had it. Thank you, Venom, for helping out the video. Huge shout out to Venom. Alright. Doing some damage. I should have done the awakened skill, but I did not. I'll just do it here if I don't get frozen. 6, 5, 4. A good chunk of damage right there. 4. And this should be... Don't die right now, that would be silly. Alright, so 318 without a uniform, and let's go ahead and check her out with the brand new uniform. Alright, Wave with the brand new uniform, and so we'll see a difference. We were looking at 318 on the clock, and so we're trying to beat that. That should be able to tell us if it is worth it or not. My initial impressions is that it is worth it, even if it's just for the 10% buff to the support class. I think, again, she's not really the most strong for her ability to fight, but more of her ability to support all heroes that are on the team. But even still, if you're going to get the character and you're looking for a way to use her, this is an extra utility way to use her. Alright, very easy. Oh, that's done. Nice. 2 and 1 and back up and reset. 3, 6. Alright, well, that should answer that question. So she's about a minute faster with the new uniform, and so that's one reason alone to buff her up as far as her damage, so you can use her with energy attacks. She is speed villain, or a speed hero that does energy, so it's very interesting and weird combination. But the big thing is that she's going to be a support, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try out this team with a with Winter Soldier lead, and the Hulk does absolutely nothing, he's just there, but we're going to use Quicksilver on Null stage 5 and see what it is without support, and then because she can get potential awakens, she can be used there, right? You can see her right here, and so, I know, I get it, okay, and so we'll see what the difference is there. So just kind of pretty standard strikers, and we'll see what happens when we take Quicksilver to Null. Right, so also if you have not fought against Null, then you can kind of pay attention to how he's fighting, right? That's how I learned how to face him, is because I just kept watching videos on how to beat him. and so you kind of get used to the fight a little bit, and that's really the biggest thing, is when you know what to expect in the fight, it's easier to fight it. I picked Quicksilver because he wasn't going to wreck, and because I didn't want to just fly through it, because that makes it harder to see what the difference is from the support. And also, I'm not the best playing at Quicksilver, so you're really going to see just kind of a raw, you know, I've done some practice runs, but you're going to see some raw damage to see what's going on as far as his kit, and I think you will see a difference. So what we're going to do, and we're not going to finish the whole fight, we're just going to do that first seat chair to kind of save time. So when he gets out of the chair, that'll be the measure of your damage. I have enough damage to be able to get out. So. Alright, so 346 on the clock as far as damage goes, a damage check. So that's pretty good. But let's go ahead and try with Wave to see what she's adding to the equation as far as her 50% towards villains and a 15% defense. Also, another thing with her uniform, it changes her leadership, so she's all basic attack, so she does an all attack buff. So you can use her as a leadership. If you have Namor, then she gets an extra 60%, so that's 85 towards Namor, which is pretty cool. But if you don't, then you know, that's fine too. So let's go ahead and do the same exact damage check across the board and see how much damage Quicksilver does with that significant buff that wouldn't be there before her being potential awakened. And it's also kind of dependent on how well it plays Quicksilver. So we'll just kind of see. Alright. 3, 5, 4. Really, the hardest part is getting snared with the symbiote tentacles. That kind of just puts a hamper on her. You just feel like you slow down. Wait for the bubbles to show up. Back. Okay. 417. I feel like we're doing pretty good. That's a good chunk of damage right there. Nice, nice, nice. And boom. So 401, 4014 if you count where I actually paused it. But you see a very distinct power creep with her being on your team. And so the great thing about having lots of supports that can do it is you can have a support here, and then 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 a support here. And so all your characters are getting buffed. And so I think supports are probably the most strong characters in the game because they boost other characters. And so my first initial impression is this uniform's pretty good for her. Personally, it doesn't make her meta as far as being the best support, but having multiple supports is very beneficial to your roster. She is 750 crystals to get. You may have to do the heroic quest a couple times if you want to avoid using tickets, and so that's kind of a red flag as well. But overall, I'm very glad that I went ahead and got her potential awaken, because she's going to let me play around with more of the supports while I try to climb Null and get farther along. And so if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like, put a comment down below. What do you think of Wave? What are you going to do with her? Are you even interested? Do you care? And so thank you so much for the support, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one.